Hey there, y'all. Welcome back to Homesteading at Kooker. Thank you for joining me today. And I want to share with you something that I have been doing for almost a week. I think I've had 4 teas so far, and I skipped one day. I say tea, it's more like an infusion. And it all is centered around this plant. Now, this plant, when I was a kid, I used to pull up because it would aggressively grow and shade out other plants, other flowers that I wanted. And it would kind of make my arms red after I picked it, kind of like okra does, because this plant has little tiny hooks on it, and it works just like velcro. But because of that, because it's so similar to velcro, when I was a kid, I thought there's got to be some sort of use or purpose for this plant. And sure enough, there is a tremendous benefit of having this plant. And now, as an adult, I'm convinced the reason it grows so aggressively is because we need it so much for our health. So, what is this? This is CLEAVERS, also called goosegrass, and you may even call it velcro plant like I did when I was a kid. And I have been harvesting off of this area and another, like I said, for about 4 or 5 days. And the benefit of it is good for stimulating the lymphatic system. So the reason I'm convinced that it's such a great plant and grows aggressively now is because I believe that through the winter time we get, like you can hear me, all stuffy and congested, and because we have to stay indoors in close quarters and it's cold outside and here, wet and rainy, basically our immune system gets sluggish and slow. So whenever it's time for CLEAVERS to pop out, that's the perfect opportunity to start utilizing that to help get your lymphatic system moving, get your immune system going, so that you can clear out some of that crud and junk and get on the path to healthiness while you're getting ready for spring and summer. That is the intent. Now, granted, you may say, well, if you've been using this for several days, why are you still stopped up? Well, herbs take a while, and honestly, I may not be using as much as I need to. I haven't really found a good dosage instructions. But what I have been doing is I've been harvesting just the tops because I want to leave the bottom so that it can regenerate and grow some more, because I don't want to kill it out. And you have to be careful because CLEAVERS are easy to pull up the roots. They are a shallow root plant. So you have to use, in my experience, both hands or scissors. And I cut it off, and then I put it in a jar, and then I do a cold infusion. Now, I did do one hot tea where I heated up the water and then put the plants in. And it's interesting because the water turned a much darker color, a tea color that time, whereas whenever I do just a regular cold infusion, it stays clear, sometimes turns a little bit of a yellowish color. But you still can tell that the CLEAVERS have infused into the water because there's a little bit of a different flavor. But that's what I've been doing, and I'm going to continue doing it because with herbs, it's sure and steady. Another thing I've been adding, some other things I've been adding to the tea have been lemon balm, because that's good at warding off viruses and fighting viruses, and mint, just because there's a plethora of health benefits of mint. And let's see, what else do I have growing back there? I think that's the main thing. Oh, I found a couple of dandelion leaves one day, so I put that in there. And what I've been trying to do, and I haven't been successful with it every day, is I'll drink the tea and then I'll eat the greens that are left over. Now, granted, a lot of times you might hear that the herbs are spent after the tea is made, but I'm finding with the cold infusion, some of the vitamins and minerals and phenols and benefits are in the water, but there's still a lot left in the plant. So the easiest way I've found to do that, unless I just make myself just chomp down on it. But it's a lot easier if I just add it to a salad. And that way I get all the health benefits of those leaves. And yeah, I've really been enjoying it. And I know as I do it more that my palate will change and I'll enjoy it even more. So what does CLEAVERS taste like? Well, it to me tastes very similar to asparagus. It's a very green, chlorophyll-y flavor, and like I said, it tastes like asparagus. Now, we learned last year, if you're going to eat some that's this bigger, tougher strands, because as it gets bigger, it gets more fibrous, you might not want to eat it straight up fresh, because since it does have those little hooks and it's like velcro, especially later in the season, it can actually catch in your throat and cause you some discomfort there. So now is the perfect time to eat it fresh, because the plant is still very soft and tender. But I was also reading in one of my Culpepper herbal books that you can boil it and eat it. So later in the season, that's what I plan on doing, because it's not so great for fresh eating at that point. But right now, it's great for fresh eating. All right. I hope y'all enjoyed that. I hope you found it informative. Oh, one last thing. For the cold infusion tea, I let it steep at least 8 hours, or infuse for at least 8 hours, and I put it in the refrigerator. I might leave it out for an hour or two, but then I put it in the refrigerator, because you don't want all those microbes to be growing in there, especially whenever it's not a hot tea. So the advice is to stick it in a cool place like a refrigerator. All right, y'all have a blessed day, and we'll see you next time here at Kooker Gehoofd.